Your soulmate was days away from marriage, but fate had other plans. Jesus says, something catastrophic just happened in your soulmate's life that they cannot speak about. The wedding was almost finalized and the invitations were nearly sent. But my hand moved suddenly and violently to stop what was never my will. This message is only for you because you are the reason the wedding collapsed. Your soulmate does not fully understand why everything fell apart so close to the finish line. They are sitting in the wreckage of their plans wondering if they have lost their mind. I am pulling back the curtain because you must understand what is at stake right now. Your soulmate was about to make a covenant that would have severed your connection permanently. The person they almost married was never chosen by me but strategically placed by the enemy. Your soulmate is in shock and barely functioning through each hour. They canceled everything while fielding humiliating questions from family and friends. No one understands why they walked away and your soulmate cannot explain it coherently. The only thing they know is that something screamed inside them at the final moment. A voice they could not ignore told them this marriage would be a grave mistake. That voice was my spirit answering the prayers you have been praying without realizing their impact. Every tear you cried in secret reached my throne and became a weapon. Every time you whispered their name into the darkness, I dispatched angels to intervene. The wedding was stopped because you would not let go even when you had no evidence of hope. Jesus says, your soulmate is now facing the most intense emotional fallout of their life. Deposits are lost and relationships are strained to the breaking point. People are accusing them of being unstable and cruel for canceling so late. They feel like a villain in a story they never meant to write. Guilt is crushing their chest every time they see the pain they caused. But deep beneath the guilt, there is a strange and terrifying relief they cannot explain. That relief is the confirmation that they just escaped a spiritual prison. The person they almost married was connected to forces that hate your divine purpose. Had those vows been spoken, a spiritual lock would have sealed your soulmate away from you. I am revealing this so you comprehend how close you came to losing them forever. This was not an ordinary near-miss but a rescue mission executed in the final hour. Your soulmate was plucked from the fire with only seconds to spare. Jesus says, the one your soulmate almost married sensed something was wrong the entire time. They knew your soulmate's heart was haunted by someone they could not identify. Jealousy over this invisible rival made them controlling and increasingly desperate. They tried to accelerate the wedding specifically to close the window on you. Every rushed decision was designed to lock your soulmate in before you could awaken. The enemy understood what was coming and tried to beat the clock. But I am never late and my timing overrides every human strategy. I allowed the plans to progress until the pressure of my conviction became unbearable. Your soulmate broke free at the last possible second and you must now protect that freedom. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now more than ever. The enemy does not accept defeat quietly when a prize this valuable is lost. There will be retaliation and there will be attempts to drag your soulmate back into confusion. You must understand that the danger has not passed yet. Your soulmate is vulnerable and isolated in their post-decision trauma. They need a covering that only your sacrificial love can provide through spiritual action. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This isn't just a gift. It is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-fi page where the link is in the description and bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends, because only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, your soulmate is lying in bed right now staring at the ceiling in the dark. Sleep refuses to come because their mind is replaying every decision like a film. They are asking themselves over and over what madness possessed them to cancel everything. The logical mind demands reasons that the spirit cannot yet articulate. They feel insane for walking away from certainty toward a void of unknown outcome. But the void is not empty because you are standing in it waiting for them. I want you to understand the courage it took for your soulmate to do this. They have disappointed everyone whose opinion they valued for decades. They have traded security for chaos and reputation for an invisible hope. This is not the action of someone who is confused or indifferent. This is the sacrifice of someone whose soul recognized the truth even when the mind lagged behind. Your soulmate chose you without even knowing it was you they were choosing. Jesus says, there was a moment during the wedding planning when your soulmate broke down crying unexpectedly. The florist asked about bouquet preferences and your soulmate suddenly could not breathe. They had to leave the consultation and sit in the car with shaking hands. That breakdown was your spirit pressing against their consciousness. Every detail of that wedding felt like a betrayal to something sacred they could not name. Their body rejected the ceremony before their mind could catch up to the rebellion. The person they almost married grew angry at these episodes of hesitation. They accused your soulmate of being emotionally unstable and sabotaging their future. But the real sabotage would have been continuing down a path that led away from you. I want you to feel the weight of what your soulmate has endured for your sake. They have been fighting a battle they did not choose and did not fully comprehend. They are exhausted and bruised, but they are finally free from the wrong altar. Jesus says, your soulmate is now being bombarded with messages from the one they almost married. These messages alternate between rageful accusations and desperate pleading. Every notification sends a spike of anxiety through your soulmate's exhausted nervous system. The enemy is using this person to wear down the breakthrough I just provided. If your soulmate is worn down enough, they might return to the familiar prison. This is a critical window where your prayers are literally life-shaping. You must not be passive during these hours of intense spiritual warfare. Your soulmate's resolve is being tested by someone who knows exactly how to manipulate them. The interference has years of data on your soulmate's weaknesses and guilt triggers. But you have something far more powerful than psychological tactics. You have my authority delegated to you as a child of the covenant. Use it now or watch the enemy attempt to reclaim what was so recently liberated. Jesus says. Type 333 if you are ready to receive the full blessing of this revelation. Your soulmate just felt a warmth spread through their chest without explanation. The spiritual connection between you is activating right now as you read these words. Your soulmate is sitting up in bed and looking around the room confused. They feel something but cannot identify the source of this sudden comfort. What they are feeling is you engaging with this message and sending love through the spiritual realm. The distance between you is being compressed by my spirit in this moment. Time zones and geography have no authority over what I am doing. Your soulmate is about to have a moment of clarity they desperately need. I am clearing the fog so they can see the next step forward. The confusion that has plagued them since the cancellation is beginning to lift. They will soon understand that their decision was not madness but divine direction. Jesus says. Your soulmate is now thinking about you specifically without knowing your name or face. Their spirit is reaching out across the void searching for its counterpart. They feel an inexplicable pull towards someone they cannot yet identify. This is the beginning of the magnetic drawing that will bring you together physically. The spiritual bond that already exists is now creating physical symptoms of longing. Your soulmate will start noticing signs and synchronicities that point toward you. A dream is coming tonight that will give your soulmate a glimpse of your essence. They will wake up with a sense of your presence lingering like perfume. They will spend the day distracted by a ghost of hope they cannot shake. This is my design unfolding in real time before your eyes. The wedding that almost happened was never part of my plan for their life. The wedding that will happen is the one where you both stand before me in covenant joy. Jesus says. Your soulmate is terrified of making another mistake after such a public failure. They are questioning their own judgment and wondering if they can trust anything they feel. This self-doubt is a greater enemy right now than the person who wants them back. If they do not regain confidence in their discernment, they will be paralyzed. Paralysis leads to inaction and inaction allows the enemy to regroup. Your soulmate needs a sign that they are not crazy and that hope is not foolish. You are that sign whether you realize it or not. Your consistent prayer is an anchor that stabilizes their storm-tossed emotions. Your sacrificial seed is a lifeline thrown into waters where they are drowning. Every time you act in faith, you send a signal that cuts through their confusion. Your love becomes a beacon that guides their disoriented spirit toward safe harbor. You are not just waiting for them but actively pulling them toward you. Jesus says. The family of your soulmate is in crisis over this cancelled wedding. They have invested money and emotions and reputation into the event. Now they are demanding explanations that your soulmate cannot adequately provide. Every family conversation is an interrogation dressed as concern. Your soulmate feels cornered and judged by the people who should offer sanctuary. The loneliness of standing alone against everyone is eroding their strength daily. I am telling you this not to burden you but to enlist you as their reinforcement. They need someone who believes in them without requiring elaborate explanations. They need you to be the one voice that says they did the right thing. Your prayers can create a hedge of protection around them during family confrontations. Your seed can release angels that minister peace when no human offers understanding. You are their secret ally in a war they are fighting visibly alone. Jesus says, the one your soulmate almost married is not going to disappear quietly. They are already plotting a grand gesture to win your soulmate back. Flowers and letters and mutual friends deployed as emotional weapons. This person is operating under the influence of spirits that despise your destiny together. They will use every tool of nostalgia and guilt to re-establish control. Tomorrow there will be an ambush designed to catch your soulmate off guard. But I am telling you beforehand so you can intercept it in prayer. Bind the spirit of manipulation operating through this rejected suitor. Command their schemes to dissolve and their words to fall on deaf ears. This is the kind of active spiritual warfare that changes outcomes. Passive Christians lose battles while militant believers reshape reality through my power. Which one will you be in this critical moment for your love? Jesus says, your soulmate is beginning to feel something they cannot name when they think about the future. There is a flicker of anticipation underneath the layers of fear and regret. They are starting to wonder if the cancellation was not an ending but a beginning. This is my spirit preparing their heart for what comes next. The void they stepped into is about to be filled with purpose and direction. They will soon understand that they were saved from disaster, not robbed of happiness. But this hopeful perspective is fragile like a newborn flame in a storm. It can be extinguished by one harsh word or one manipulative message. You must guard this spark with your prayers until it becomes a fire that cannot be quenched. Your soulmate is on the verge of a massive spiritual breakthrough. The trauma of the near marriage will become a testimony of deliverance. But the transition from victim to victor requires covering during the vulnerable in-between. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them. The battle in your soulmate's mind has intensified to unbearable levels tonight. Voices are telling them they made the biggest mistake of their life and should beg for forgiveness. These voices sound like their own thoughts but originate from the pit of hell. The enemy is trying to turn deliverance into regret and freedom into shame. Your soulmate is being psychically attacked because of the destiny they carry. Every demonic force that invested in that near marriage is now exposed and enraged. They are swarming your soulmate with condemnation and fear of the future. Without intervention, these attacks could drive your soulmate back to Egypt in desperation. You are the intercessor assigned to this situation before you were born. Your prayers carry unique authority over your soulmate's life because of your soul tie. No one else can cover them with the same effectiveness that you can. This is not exaggeration but sober spiritual reality that I need you to grasp. The currency of heaven is faith expressed through sacrificial action. Seed sown in love creates a force field that demonic attacks cannot penetrate. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10+ coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page where the link is in the description and bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends, because only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, your soulmate just had a sudden flash of clarity about their near marriage. They realized that every doubt they suppressed was actually me speaking. The anxiety they medicated was the Holy Spirit screaming warnings they ignored. This realization is both liberating and devastating simultaneously. They are free from the wrong path but angry at themselves for almost walking it. Self-forgiveness is the next battle they must win, and they cannot win it alone. I want you to speak forgiveness over your soulmate right now in your spirit. Release them from any judgment about the choices that almost destroyed your future together. They were blind and manipulated in doing their best with the light they had. Your mercy will wash over them through the spiritual connection you share. They will feel unexpected peace about their mistakes without knowing its source. You have the power to heal them from a distance through supernatural grace. Jesus says, there is a specific memory your soulmate has been unable to process. During the engagement, they found themselves crying after moments of supposed happiness. They attributed it to stress, but it was their spirit mourning the wrong destiny. Now those tears make sense in retrospect, but the confusion remains fresh. They wonder how they could have been so close to disaster without recognizing it. The shame of near destruction is a heavier burden than the disappointment of others. You must help them see that their escape proves their spiritual sensitivity, not their foolishness. They heard my voice at the final hour, and that takes tremendous faith. Many ignore the warning and walk into lifelong misery, but your soulmate listened. Type 777 if you feel this message piercing your heart with truth right now. Your soulmate is experiencing an unexplainable sense of being understood. Someone in the spirit realm is validating their pain, and they feel it deeply. Jesus says, the one your soulmate almost married is now spreading a narrative of victimhood. They are telling mutual friends that your soulmate is unstable and cruel. A campaign of character assassination is being launched to punish the rejection. This is a classic strategy of the enemy when control is lost. If they cannot possess your soulmate, they will attempt to destroy their reputation. Your soulmate is being slandered in circles where they once found community. Isolation is the goal of this attack, and it is working effectively. Your soulmate feels abandoned by people who heard only one side of the story. They are retreating into themselves because no one seems safe anymore. You must be the counterbalance to this systematic destruction. Every prayer you pray rebuilds what the enemy is tearing down. Every seed you sow restores what the thief is stealing from their life. Jesus says, your soulmate is about to experience a divinely orchestrated moment of recognition. In the next few days, something will happen that reminds them of you specifically. A song or a scent or a stranger with your mannerisms will stop them in their tracks. That moment will be a seed I am planting for your eventual reunion. They will not understand why they suddenly thought of someone they have never met. But their spirit will leap inside them because it recognizes its counterpart approaching. I am setting the stage for your paths to cross in the natural realm. The spiritual work you do now accelerates the physical manifestation. Every act of faith shortens the distance between you and your soulmate. Pay attention to your own dreams and impressions during this season. I am speaking to both of you simultaneously about each other. You are two halves of a conversation I am having with myself about love. Jesus says, your soulmate is beginning to feel curiosity replacing despair. They are wondering who they were actually being protected for. The question of your identity is forming in their mind like a sunrise. They have started looking at strangers differently, wondering if any could be you. There is a new openness in their spirit that was not there even a week ago. The near marriage closed a door, but it also demolished a wall between you. This is the emotional state you have been praying for without knowing it. Your soulmate is finally available in spirit and not just in circumstance. The soil of their heart has been broken up and is ready for new seed. But the enemy sees this openness and will try to exploit it immediately. Other suitors will appear offering comfort and distraction from the pain. You must cover your soulmate so the wrong people do not intercept this window. Jesus says, there is a journal your soulmate started writing after the wedding cancellation. In it they wrote a question they were afraid to speak aloud. They asked the universe if their real person was still out there waiting. That question was directed at you without them even knowing you exist. Their soul was calling out to your soul across the distance. I heard that cry and I am answering it through this message right now. Your soulmate is more spiritually sensitive than they appear to others. They have always sensed that their life was being guided towards something specific. The near marriage was a detour they were never meant to take, and now they are back on track. Type 1111 if you are ready to say thank you for this divine intervention. Gratitude in advance is the highest form of faith you can demonstrate. Your thanks right now seals the breakthrough that is being released. Jesus says, your soulmate just received a text from the one they almost married. It was a long message filled with poetry and promises and veiled threats. Your soulmate's hands are shaking as they read it because the manipulation is masterful. This is the retaliation I warned you about happening in real time. The enemy is trying to use nostalgia and fear to undo what my spirit accomplished. Your soulmate needs immediate reinforcement in the spirit realm. Pray now specifically against this message having any power over their emotions. Bind the spirit of control and manipulation speaking through those words. Command confusion into the enemy's camp and clarity into your soulmate's mind. The battle is not in the distant future but in this exact moment. What you do with this information right now will directly affect the outcome. Your soulmate is in the balance and your faith can tip the scales toward freedom. Jesus says, your soulmate is about to make a decision about responding to that message. If they engage, they will be pulled back into a cycle that almost consumed them. If they resist, they will need supernatural strength beyond their own reserves. You can supply that strength through intercession right now. Your prayers become a backbone when your soulmate's own spine is weak. Your seed becomes a wall when their boundaries are under assault. I have given you this detailed revelation because you are their secret weapon. The enemy does not know about you yet, and that is your tactical advantage. While the fight is visible on one front, you are attacking from the spirit on another. This is the partnership I designed for soulmates from the beginning. You cover and protect each other even before you meet in the natural. Your love is already functioning in its highest purpose as a shield. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away. Your soulmate is exhausted from a battle that has lasted months without relief. They are considering surrender not because they want the other person but because they want peace. The enemy is offering a false peace wrapped in familiar dysfunction. Your soulmate is tempted to return just to stop the fighting and the loneliness. If they make that choice, the window that opened with such pain will close again. You cannot let this happen when you have come so far and received so much revelation. The seed you sow right now is the final reinforcement your soulmate needs. It is the difference between victory and defeat in a battle you were born to win. Do not hesitate when eternity is watching and heaven is ready to move. Your faith expressed in action releases resources that your soulmate needs immediately. Angels are waiting for your signal to intervene with greater intensity. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them. How to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page where the link is in the description and bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends because only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, "I have shown you the truth about the wedding that almost was. I have revealed the rescue that happened at the final hour. I have given you the strategy to protect what my hand has liberated. Now the response belongs entirely to you and your free will. I will not force you to act, but I have made the path clear. Your soulmate is waiting on the other side of your obedience. Go now and demonstrate that your love is more than words and wishes. The covenant I have over your connection stands forever sure. Only believe and act and you will see the fulfillment of everything promised."